Welcome to the Wealth Matters podcast, where investors come together to better understand how to build passive cash flow and create generational wealth without all the confusing mumbo-jumbo. Here's your host and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, Alpesh Pamar.
Welcome to Wealth Matters podcast. I am going to talk to Konar today. He's a passionate entrepreneur and multiple seven-figure business owner whose mission is to help people design and build their dream businesses. So I am looking forward to this episode because he's going to talk about how you can build business credit and even how you can become a business lending broker. He's regularly featured in publications such as Entrepreneur and the Huffington Post. He's also the author of a couple of books and speaks at national and international events several times a year. Welcome, Oz.
Hey, great to be here, Alpesh. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
So awesome. Tell us something interesting or funny about yourself.
Yeah, one thing people get surprised when they find out that I actually did double major in biology and chemistry, but ended up being a business owner. That's like totally irrelevant to what I learned in college. My family wanted me to become a doctor, like most families. I'm sure you can.
Doctor or engineer, right?
The doctor or engineer, one of those two. I bought into the hype. I started to school in my fourth year. I was like, what the heck am I doing here? I don't even like this. I have an intellectual curiosity towards nature and biology, but not to the level of make a lifestyle out of that. So in my fifth year, I said, I'll get the diploma, give it to my parents, but I want to go sell stuff. I just went back to selling stuff on the flea markets.
Wow. So what do you invest in personally and why?
I personally invest in myself a lot. It might sound selfish, but yeah, I'm a business owner. I invest in obviously other things too. I'm a real estate investor. I invest in cryptocurrency and training programs. But what I've seen so far, the biggest ROI I've been getting for the past decade comes from investing in myself, investing into my coaching, investing into reading books and attending events and things like that. So I can directly apply it into my business and help others. That has helped us. I think our company is going to reach 8 figures this year. That's because of the investment in ourselves and our team and our product.
Congrats, that's awesome. So let's talk about business credit. What is a business credit? Why do small businesses need one?
This is a phenomenon not really known to many people in the United States and Canada, right? Many people are somewhat familiar with personal credit. When you're buying a house or when you're refinancing a house, when you're buying a car or trying to get a loan, one of the main factors, our creditors look at is how good is your personal credit? But one thing that many people do not understand is there's actually business credit. So personal credit goes from, 400 plus to 800 plus, right? Business credit goes from 0 to 100. So it's a totally separate structure of measuring credit worthiness of a business. The main benefit is that if you keep using your personal credit, there's a finite amount of things you can buy. And when you, let's say, miss a payment or when you have a lot on your credit, it diminishes your chances of getting more funding. Whereas if you build a business credit, you have access to a lot more cash. Like companies like Amazon or Elon Musk and most of the other companies are growing through business credit. On a personal level, maybe you're going to get a credit card for like $50,000 to $100,000. But on the personal end, it's no problem for you to get a loan or credit, line of credit for $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. And the other thing is when you reach a certain level through your business credit, you don't have to sign things with your own name. Personal guarantee is a big deal, right? So people sign off every loan document or house with a personal guarantee. If you have a business credit, that's not really the case. Business credit itself is an entity of its own, so it's separate from you. So you don't really put any liability on yourself personally. So there are many things that we can talk about, but these are just a couple of highlights.
That's awesome. So, and I have a lot of small businesses, right? And I have always looked into building business credit as well. Right. And there are certain steps, someone will have to follow, right, to build business credit. So can you share the steps? Let's say if someone is starting a new business to becoming a credit-worthy business?
Yeah, so it's a meticulous process, honestly. similar to building a personal credit. So a lot of people do not understand that, right? And now, since it's been famous over the past couple of years, now people are getting into credit repair and understanding personal credit.
Right.
Business credit is, on the other hand, is a mystery to most people. So one way to build it right, especially when you're starting your business, is consistency. What I mean by that is when you have your tax ID number, you're starting your business. First of all, you want to have a business email, right? You don't want to have an email ending with Gmail or Yahoo.com, right? So when you buy a domain, whatever your domain is, just make sure that you get an email that says info@yourdomain.com. That's one thing. The second thing is establish your profile on search engines and directories like Yahoo.com, like Yahoo Business, Google Business, Yelp, and all those pages. Create your profile. But one thing people miss is that you need to have identical information on each one of them, meaning you got to have the same phone number, you got to have the same website address. Most importantly, you got to have the same business address. For the business address, if you're using a PO box, you're not really building business credit. So that's really, really important. So you might use your home address, or you might get a virtual address, but make sure that your address is consistent. Why does that matter? Who cares about this? Well, there's a database called Dun & Bradstreet, right?
Yep. I was going to ask about DNB.
Yeah, DNB is collecting information about each business, and they are the ones who are they're the sole source that determines your credit worthiness for the business. So they're looking at your company, they're monitoring your business. If the information is all over the place, then they can't tell if it is the same company or if it's a different company, because usually what happens is in one place you have a PO box, and the other place you have your street address, and on one place it's your cell phone, the other place is your actual business phone. So you want to get your ducks in a row, and you want to have consistent information everywhere. And the next step, once you get it all done, next step is having a website.
May I interrupt you? Sorry.
Sure.
So DNB, and I started a lot of businesses, and they started reaching out to me.
Right.
And I always felt like they were so scammy. So is DNB similar to Equifax, Experience, TransUnion in the personal credit space? And do everyone needs to have a DNB number?
Yes, it's very important that you have a DNB number. It's absolutely important, because sometimes what happens is you might be in business for 3 years and DNB doesn't even know that you exist. And you have the legal documentation. Maybe you filed your taxes, like you're a legitimate business making money, and DNB has no idea. So that diminishes your credit worthiness, right? So it's really, really important that and the next step is having your website. Have your website, get your DNB number. Once you have all of that, now the clock is ticking. You're building the business credit slowly, but there are ways to expedite it. One way is get a credit card that bills net 30, net 60. A lot of the supply stores, uline.com or staples.com, when you buy things from them, open up a business account with them. For example, if you go to uline.com, you can buy boxes and tissue paper and most of the things that you need in your business anyways. Even if you don't need anything, go spend $50, but tell them to build a business with net 30. So you're not paying upfront. So you want them to bill you, and that is immediately grabbed by Dun & Bradstreet, and that starts expediting that process. We have so many people like I don't need anything. I'm like, no, you do need something. Even if you're going to buy it for your house, go spend $50. It's okay.
Okay, so I have another question. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I have the business credit card for a couple of my businesses actually, and I've been using it for one of them for over 10 years, the other one over 3 years. But of course, that was given to me on my name, right? Even though it's through my business bank account. So how does that work? Is this helping me build that credit on my personal side or on the business side?
Good question. So it is helping you on the personal side. And most likely the business is not even aware of that, right? So what you need to do if you're an established business, and we all did that, right? You start a business and you get a letter in the mail saying that you can get a credit card for your business, right? But when you're filling out the application, they're asking for your social security number.
Exactly.
It's based on your personal credit. What happens if you're in a situation like that, you want to call the credit card company and tell them you want to transfer that credit card to your business. And if they don't do that, then tell them, well, I'm going to be making some major purchases under my business. I will not use your card. I need a business card. Either you do it, or I'm going to call the next bank, Chase or Bank of America or American Express, right? Usually the best candidate for this is American Express. Even if you have a brand new business, call Amex and tell them I want to get a business credit card. If they try to get you registered through your personal information, you're like, no, I like to use my tax ID number. And you
I
transfer,
see.
either you turn your existing business credit cards into actual business building credit cards, or you open new ones, right? Because if you do what you've been doing, maybe it has some side benefits, yeah, sure, but overall, it is on your as a person, as it's building your own credit or hurting your own credit, depends on how you're handling it. But it's not doing the impact that it should be doing under the business account. Just to give you an example, we currently we have 6 Amex credit cards under our business. That's a
Wow.
lot of credit cards, right? We spent a lot of money on advertising. The first one started of me getting an Amex under my name. Then once I built a relationship, I kept calling them. I started a business. I need somebody. I need a card to use for business expenses, and they were really helpful. Once we get the first one, then after like 3 months, I call them again. I need this credit card, that credit card. Right now we have 3 gold, 3 platinum, and one of the
Nice.
lower ones, right? Do I use all of them? Not
No.
really, but do they help me a lot? When the DNB checks my record, they're like, holy cow, this guy has like 25 credit lines. 6 of them are Amex, 3 with Uline, 1 with Best Buy, 1 with Staples, and there's so many other ones. Once you show that, then it's not big of a deal for you to get a 0% interest business credit card with a limit of like 250,000.
Nice. So you dropped a couple of golden nuggets there. One is Amex. I know personally as well that Amex is very business friendly. That's why I have one Amex. So I totally agree. And the second is opening account with Uline or Staples or something. So even with those stores, you go and open an account as business, not providing your personal information.
Correct. Even if you have no business credit cards let's say you walk into Staples, right? You want to buy supplies, right? You don't pay with your personal card. You tell them you want to open a business account with Staples. They give you a little form. I think they do it online right now. That is registered. That's on the records, and they give you a Staples credit card. It has interest and all that stuff, sure, but pay it before the interest hits. That's okay. You got to be able to manage that, right?
Right.
But it starts building it. So then you do it for any type of store that sells material for businesses. And before you know that, you have 6 to 10 lines of credit, open lines of credit that is reporting to DNB. And when that happens, now it gives you a lot more leverage when you're using what I call OPM, other people's money.
Yep.
So
OPM.
you can't just earn and spend. That cycle is very employee-minded, right?
Yeah.
Businesses do not act that way. We're putting about $2 million on our Amex cards every single year.
Wow.
Advertising. We're paying it back, but otherwise I would have paid it off on my debit card, which is totally useless. It doesn't give me any interest. I get points.
Points and building the credit, right?
And building the credit. So if I to buy another business, I can literally call American Express and get a credit line of a couple of $1 million because of the credit lines. So think about the possibilities of what doors that it can open, right? When you're building something on your personal credit, you won't be able to call Bank of America and tell them, I'm going to buy a business. Can I get $1 million? They'll laugh at you. That just doesn't work that way.
They're like, send me your credit score, DTI. We need to look at, because and you and I jump through hoops actually as business owner and entrepreneur to get personal loans. When I'm trying to buy real estate and if I'm buying on my personal, they ask me for like hundreds of tax documents. And when I tell them I'm buying through my business, okay, all good.
No problem.
Come on.
And also another thing, obviously, it's really actually pathetic, right? It's sadly funny. So on the business end, it's your benefit to accumulate balance. Like if I have a $500,000 balance on my Amex credit card, it doesn't look bad on my credit. It looks good. That means I'm a business. I'm going to pay it back. Try to do that on your personal and see what happens.
It's very bad. I was trying to refinance my mortgage a couple months ago, and the amount of documents they asked me for each and every of my business for P&L, tax returns, and I'm like, when I acquired the property earlier last year, they didn't ask me anything because I acquired through my business. So no, that's amazing what you shared about Uline. And so what about the net 30 or net 60? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Then
so
do I need to get a credit card, or do I open just an account with them?
especially
And
with
I don't
Uline, it's
even.
the easiest. So you go to uline.com, you browse through their online catalog and pick some stuff, right? It
Yep,
doesn't matter
yep,
what it, and
yep.
it adds up to $50. And
Right.
you place your order. Right before you place an order, it asks you, pay with credit or net 30. You choose net 30, put your, and this is another important thing, you have to, the information you put in there about your
Business.
business needs to match. Okay, don't put your business address, business name as it is shown on your website or on your tax return, business phone number, choose net 30 and click on submit. Your order is done. You didn't pay anything. They ship you the products, and then
I
you
see.
get a bill in the mail. So now you have a net,
Ah,
you have 30, net 30 means that you have 30 days to pay that.
right.
Sometimes they give you net 60. If your order is big enough, they give you net 90, and
Wow.
certain places give you net 120. Try to get that on your personal, like credit card companies will want that paid before the interest cycle hits, right?
Yep.
But businesses, they can give you up to 120 days. That's a lot of days to pay something back, right?
Right.
So that's what net 30 is. You get the bill in the mail. Of course, you want to pay it on time, and repeat that process. Just go buy some stuff, like, as a gift. You'll find something to buy. Keep doing that, and do it for similar companies who are selling supplies.
Oh, that's awesome. This is great advice. Especially, I'm able to relate.
Thank
And
you.
you spoke about you also have the training platform. What does that training platform entail? Is it for building credit, or it's on the other side, becoming a loan broker?
Both, actually, because
Oh,
as a
okay.
yeah, so we train people to be business loan brokers in the United States and Canada, because alternative lending has been exploding, right? As you
Right.
and I know, banks are really bad at providing funding to small businesses. They're designed more for providing capital to mid-sized to large-sized businesses. We're closing that gap. Like the approval rate for a small business loan is less than 20%, believe it or not. That means every 10 people who apply for, just to get, let's say, $20,000, only 2 of them get approved. So as business loan brokers, this doesn't require any licensing or any degrees, any prior experience. So probably train more than 3,000 members in our community
Wow.
and help them build 6-figure and 7-figure businesses. They'll learn about building business credit and helping others build business credit, and while doing so, they earn money. So that's it. That's a platform that we've been building since 2014, and it's gone to great lengths. And so far, we're bringing on a couple of hundred people a month.
That's awesome. So one of your platform teaches how to build business credit, and I would have to check it out for myself itself. But the other side, you also train people to become a business loan broker. So why do you claim that it is the best time to become a business loan broker?
Yeah, because there are a lot of businesses you can do online right now, right? So you can, I don't know, you can work with a no money down real estate opportunity, e-commerce opportunity, or just any type of online business that sells something. The reason I truly do believe in my heart that this is the best opportunity because it's recession proof and also pandemic proof, right? We've seen what happened during the pandemic. Most of the opportunities kind of disappeared
Yeah.
because businesses got shut down, and people were sick and all that stuff. Whereas alternative lending thrived both on 2008 recession and also during the pandemic, because that's when people need more money. So we're in the business of selling the sexiest product on earth, which is money, right? So you're offering money to small businesses, and they need it most during a recession. And also, well, we didn't know this before, but we can have pandemic too now through the
Yes.
pandemic. So for that reason, I mean, our brokers have generated massive levels of income, even like last May, which is the eye of the storm pretty much for the pandemic. Everyone was locked down, but there were businesses being opened up. There were businesses who
Right.
needed money because the government forced them to shut down. They still needed to pay their employees, and we were able to help them out. And on top of that, we can help people start a business. Startup funding doesn't even exist through traditional banks. Like, try to walk into your branch and tell them, I'm excited, I'm going to start a business, I need $100,000. See how that goes. They don't really have an option for that, right? But we
Right.
do have funding partners that provide that. So when you put it all together, someone can work from home. They can do this part-time or full-time, and this thrives during a recession and pandemic. When I put it all together, I mean, I think that justifies the claim that this is the best business to start.
That's awesome. So, what are some of the requirements to become a business loan broker? Do I like a realtor? You need to get a license, or if you're a life insurance agent, you need to be licensed with the state. Are there any requirements to become a business loan broker?
No hard requirements like that. You don't need any license or degrees or any experience. Obviously, you need to have a laptop and a phone. This doesn't involve any telemarketing or cold calling, but you need to connect with people. So we teach people how to do online marketing. Those are the only things, and a strong why to do this, right? So being an entrepreneur requires a very strong reason that you're going to go through this. Otherwise, most people want to be an entrepreneur, but they just want to do it. Oh, I want to make more money. Well, yeah, that's everyone. Who doesn't want to make more money?
Right.
So you need a stronger reason why. Do you want to live in a better neighborhood, like you and I were talking about, where you live and where I live, and how
Right.
complicated it gets, right? So you want to be in a better school system. You want to have extra cash at the end of the month. Whatever the reason is, you need to find a stronger why, and that's all you need, honestly, start a business.
That's awesome. So last question I have before we take a break is that you mentioned about six figure. How can someone who is starting out build a six-figure business as a loan broker?
It's relatively easy, honestly, because the industry that we're in doesn't require that you have hundreds of customers. Each deal that you help fund it pays you anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, right?
Okay.
So even if you're doing, 4 average deals per month, that's over $10,000 in commissions paid to you. And there's
Right.
no middleman. You're getting paid directly from the lenders. So as you know, when you're making over $8,000 a month, that's more than $100,000 a year. So you're at a six-figure level. So it's a simple math. It comes down to, being able to fund 4+ deals per month.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's take a quick break. And after the break, we will go through the same questions I ask every guest.
Awesome.
You're listening to the Wealth Matters Podcast.
The Wealth Matters Podcast.
For more info about what we do, check us out at wealthmatters.com. It's wealth, WEALTH, matters, MATRS.com.
Welcome back to Wealth Matters Podcast. I was talking to, and I'm still talking to Oz. He shared a lot of golden nuggets about building business credit if you are on the fence and want to become a business loan broker. So thank you, Oz, for sharing all that. Are you ready for fire round?
Let's do it.
Okay. What do you think of the stock market, real estate, and cryptocurrencies, as all of them are at all-time high? And you mentioned you invest in all of them. I do too. So I want to know.
Yeah, I'm invested in all of them, but I guess just like anything, it's not the vehicle; it's when you get in and when you know when to get out, right? So just anyone who's thinking about them, just be careful. These are, especially cryptocurrencies, is high speculation vehicles so far. So if something seems really really expensive and everyone seems to be talking about it, it might not be the best time to get in. So just use caution.
When your grandparents are talking about it, it's time to get out.
Exactly. That's my measuring stick. If my mom is calling me about cryptocurrency,
Yeah, exactly.
time to sell or not buy at all.
Would you be changing any business or investment strategy after this pandemic is over?
I think we've kind of grown through it. When the pandemic hit, we were not really sure how we were going to get impacted, but we managed to 3x our company through within 1 year. So not really. We would just keep being customer centric, like Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos says. It's a matter of building a customer centric company.
It's awesome. Favorite real estate or finance or any other related book?
I would say I guess the foundational one, the Robert Kiyosaki one, that kind of opened my eyes to it. There are many other ones that I read, but that was the one who showed me the potential of the real estate market.
That's great. Any tool or website you recommend or you use every day?
We're always thankful to Slack for our team communications.
Yeah.
We pray that it performs and it doesn't fail, and it doesn't fail us. It's a very reliable software. I like it.
That's great. Any advice for beginner investors or entrepreneurs?
Do your research. Do not buy into the hype. Always look at the company or cryptocurrency that you're buying. Look for the founders, what they do, their background, the project itself. It's really, really important to learn. I think you would agree too. One thing that's important for any investor is you got to know how to do your research. That's like the most important thing. Don't just call a friend of yours who made some money 20 years ago from real estate and ask them for advice. It's probably not the best place to go. Just learn the process. I know it's painful to learn to do research, but it pays dividends if you know how to do it.
Right. No, that's a great advice. How do you give back?
We give back to charities quite a bit, both nationally and internationally. And also, I take great pleasure in seeing our brokers and people reach different levels in our community. Like someone just broke a seven-figure, milestone in their business and moved by. They bought a beach house, and seeing that and seeing where they were when they came in, that's I guess the biggest reward for me, and we give it back and like in those ways through our training and what we do every day.
That's great. How can my listeners reach out to you?
It's easy. Everything we have is on our website, including our YouTube videos and our emails, the content that we have, blogs, businesslendingblueprint.com.
Okay, I'll put that in the show note. Thank you so much, Oz.
My pleasure. Great to be with you, Alfred. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Matters podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes so others can enjoy the show too. Have a great week and happy investing!